What's good, everybody? This is Preston, lifelong adventurer and travel YouTuber.
And I'm Ryan, the travel photographer, here to capture moments worth saving.
And this is Adventures with Pictures podcast, bringing all those travel tips,
horror stories,
and just all-around travel experiences. This is your podcast to soften those travel blues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now let's get started and hear from our guest today.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Preston, a.k.a. Mr. Travels, and I got my boy, young Ryan, in the building.
What's going on?
And I got a very special guest. I got one of my very, very good friends, young Brian, a.k.a. Old Man.
What's going on?
I'm glad he could be part of the show. I've been asking him for a while, and he finally can get down with us, and hopefully he can come on the show as many times as he likes. He's going to be a citizen of Adventures with Pictures.
Oh, for sure. You know.
There you go. So let's just dive right into it. One of my favorite cities that we went to while we was in Germany was Dublin, the good country of Ireland, and that was an amazing place. I actually kind of want to go back. And then as we progress through the show today, I will tell you why I want to go back. So like I said, Dublin is pretty much all city. They got one river that flows through the whole city, but just literally city. I didn't see not one rolling hill or anything like that. So I'm sure that's in other parts of Ireland that you see on TV or whatever. But yeah, like I said, it was just all city. So if you're familiar with city life, that's what it was. Obviously, they speak English, so that was easy to navigate. There was no barriers on that. The only thing I would say from my perspective was maybe the accent. You know, you got a bunch of Conor McGregors, get a little bit of, spirits in them. I don't know what you're saying, but at least everything's in English. What do you think about that?
I can kind of say the same thing. I agree with you on the accent. But as far as like the being able to get around, understanding everything, it was just easy. It's like being in the States, obviously, other than, they were driving on the wrong side of the road, which we say. And then, like I said, the accent. But everything else was pretty cool. And I would definitely like to go back. I think we went at kind of, I would say, the worst time and the best time, because we went during St. Patty's Day, which, you get an influx of Americans there. So you don't really get to experience the true Dublin atmosphere. So in that regard, I would definitely want to go back, like, not at their peak tourist season.
Yeah, because I ain't lie to you. I think besides the hotel, I think I met more foreigners than I did Irishmen or Irishmen, which was very surprising. I was like, what's going on here? But, because we met several people from, like, London. We met that one group from Germany, and they had holes on. I'm like, what the heck is going on? But, it is what it is. Like I said, I do concur with you. I do want to go back just on a normal, regular weekend or whatever, and just take it in a little bit more. Obviously, we already pretty much seen all the major sites of Dublin, but some of them I actually do want to go back. And as I said, as we go through the things to do, people will understand, like, yeah, that does sound kind of dope.
Yes.
So I would say, so I'm going to start off with this one. So the first one of the standouts for me was Dublin Castle. But we was in Dublin too, which is right next to, or maybe right inside Temple Bar. Yeah. So location-wise, it was great. So I recommend, if you're going to stay in Dublin, stay in District 2.
Yeah.
So we got to go to the Dublin Castle. I don't believe they had self-guided tours. I know we did a guided tour.
We did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did a guided tour. And I think it was roughly about 60 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I was looking, and I saw also, when it comes to the expositions, it's literally just whatever's going on. Like right now, I looked at it this morning, and they have like a woman's type of theme going on right now. So when we went, I don't believe they had that.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Yeah, I think it was just a regular, just run-of-the-mill, regular weekend type deal. Right. And we got to go, all through the castle. Obviously, they have famous paintings and stuff like that. So it's like just any other castle if you ever been to one. And then you got to go into the basement or the cellar, dungeon. Yeah, that thing looked like Game of Thrones.
Well, you're allowed to take pictures inside the castle and stuff like that, were you?
Yeah, you take pictures. I think
But
some parts you couldn't though.
Yeah, there were some things that they didn't want you to take pictures of. I mean, it's pretty much like in any type of museum or historic building in a lot of places that we've been. So there are some places where they're like, it's open for pictures, and there are other places like, hey, you can't take pictures of this or that. So,
Right.
but it is what it is.
I really do hate that when you pay money. At least for my perspective, when I pay money, I want the full experience, AKA let me take the pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand the copyright, and sometimes they only want certain images to be shown, so they don't want you to take your own personal pictures, or whatever. But for the most part, we took pictures on grounds and on the inside.
Yeah.
So actually, even in the basement or the dungeon, you can only go so far into it because I think it's a lot of that like collapsed or whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
So, so that was pretty much. I mean, like I said, Dublin Castle, one and done. Like, probably would never go see unless they got some crazy like type of event going on where I just have to go.
Right.
But definitely is a one and done for me.
Well, not put you on the spot, but like, was there any type of interesting like historical facts that they told you about the castle that just stood out?
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch that either. Like any other tour, it's not like they were, saying, oh, well, this king had this major battle here and so on and so forth. It was really none of that going on. They were just telling you about the building, when it was constructed, who did what parts of the construction, where certain little trinkets came from, so on and so forth. So nothing really major. And I agree with Preston for me as well. Like it's a one and done. Like I've got that off the list. So, I'd go back to Dublin, I'd just walk around the castle, like not even going to it. Like I wouldn't even, think about going in there. So.
Yeah, like I said, it's literally. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, it's not even the best castle I've been to. So maybe I have to do an episode on castles. But
how about this? You sound castle bougie out here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what you talking about? What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I got my pinky out. Hey,
like this castle is beneath me.
No, but seriously, man, like coming from, say, America, right?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna run into no castle because that's not our society, that's not our, our culture. But when you go to just Europe in general, bro, like every country or, they got castles. That's what they did.
Yeah.
So, once you start going to different castles, you start saying like, yeah, like this is this is really Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like they lived that medieval life, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the castle was cool. I don't want to, downgrade their castle. I mean, I don't want to talk about my Irishmen, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, it was cool.
I mean, honestly, if you're going to Dublin, like I would say, take the tour of the castle. But if it's the second time going back and you've already been, there's no point in going.
Yeah, unless they added another wing, and then
right.
Other than that, like I said, it's just another castle, man. You'll see once you start visiting Europe.
Okay.
But yeah, so like one of the other things is the next thing we did was just really upsetting me, but the St. Patrick Cathedral. I never had to pay for a church or cathedral or whatever. They charge. And at the time, €8 was like $10, $11. And like I said, and that was self-paced. So we just went in and, you learn about the history of St. Patrick and who's buried there and stuff like that. I didn't go into the crypt because I just didn't feel like it. Wasn't that big of a deal for us at the time. But overall, the cathedral was really nice.
Yeah.
And but once again, it's just like any other cathedral. You know, it has its moments, whatever.
Right. The thing that stood out for me when going into St. Michael's Cathedral is that it's still an active church. Like they still hold mass in there every Sunday. So I was like, man, like one, I was asking like, well, why are you charging me $10 to get in here if you're still collecting? But that was pretty interesting to know.
I'm saying it's funny, man, because I'm used to going to church in America, so you don't have a souvenir shop. You know what I'm saying? So it's an active church. You go in there and it's literally souvenirs just right behind the pews. Like, okay, so you can get you a miniature figurines and stuff, and then get you a little, service in right quick. Yeah. So that was kind of like weird, whatever. But like I said, you can walk around the cathedral grounds. So what you can get some good pictures, man. Like I said, Europe is just if you've been a photographer, you definitely got to go to Europe, man, because you can get some amazing pictures just on a whim, just by walking down any old cobblestone street, and you'll be like, wow, that'll really boost your portfolio. But like I said, so St. Patrick Cathedral, once again, for me, that was a one and done. I'm not paying to get inside the church, but they say it was nice. It was a nice church.
Yeah.
Especially that one. One of the things we did was, and I know I'm not pronouncing this right, it's the
Kilmainham prison.
Golf. They only do private tours if you got like a group of like 10 or something like that. And it was just it was just 3 of us. So yeah, we had to go with the other group, whatever. But that was an awesome tour because you really do. It was like Shawshank. I mean, that's like the best way I could describe it. It was like literally Andy Dufresne was like fighting off the sisters. Like,
in my mind, it was worse than that because I'm like,
definitely was worse.
They're like, they put up the plexiglass for the windows and all that stuff like that in the wintertime. It was a little chill when we went, and it was still like, cold as heck in there. And I'm like, you're talking about you sitting, 30 people to one cellar. There's no window, no nothing stopping the wind from coming in there. There's no blanket. Like, it's just, you got bodies just laying on top of bodies just to stay warm. It's like, that ain't the life.
Yeah, you out here fighting rats, roaches.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, man. Like, the conditions were horrible, man.
Yeah.
And then, like, so what touched me about it was, I can't remember the child age, but I think it might be like 11.
Yeah.
So they was putting like 10, 11-year-olds in there with grown men.
Yeah.
Like, simple crimes. Like, oh, you stole some bread? Going in with these animals. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they didn't play no games, at least in Ireland. They played no games, bro. You do something wrong, this is where you're going.
Right.
That sounds like scared straight for steroids if you're like a...
No, it's past scared straight.
Yeah, way past.
Scared straight, you go home.
Yeah.
So this is, we need you to do about 4 years. 11-year-old, man. Just imagine, what are you going to do when you're 11 years old and you got some dude that's 30 on you?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. So...
man.
And then you got to think about it. This is like the 1800s, early 1900s. So you think about the conditions, man. Like, they didn't have a lot of rules that they have now.
Right.
So you go up in their joint, you just in there, and you just got to fend for yourself. So, so like I said, but the tour was amazing, man. I think that tour had to be like over an hour, maybe like
that was well over an hour. Because they talk about Kilmainham and how he tried to lead the revolt and so on and so forth. And like they had a lot of little knickknacks that they threw in there as far as, even with him, going to did they hang him and shot him or something like that? It was like that. Yeah.
They were doing too much. And they actually, so you actually get to go outside to see where they actually did the shooting and So it just like, it's just so crazy. Like, right there is where they hang people. Oh, yeah, over there, that's where they shoot people. I'm like,
right.
Yeah, we just talking about this like it's just like, oh, McDonald's down the street, and if you want some Burger King, So it was just, that was wild, man, just to hear stories like that. And then, like I said, man, you went from room to room to room. You got to actually look into the jail cells. I mean, dude, like, it was crazy. Like I said, I would definitely go back for that.
Okay.
That was a good one. And I don't think it was that much to get in, maybe 10, 15 bucks.
It wasn't. I think the cab ride over there cost more than it did to get in.
So that's one of the things, too, like I said, like, that's really the only one that is not in Dublin, too. Everything else is pretty much walking distance if you get centrally located in Dublin.
Yeah. And I think we were centrally located because, like, we didn't have to do no hop on, hop off. We didn't do any of that. Like, we walked essentially everywhere that we wanted to go.
Yeah, I think we called one cab, and that was to the Jameson. But I think we kind of walked back a little bit.
Yeah, we walked back because we didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah. So,
what it was, we were running late and our tour was starting. So we was like, don't chance it. Let's go ahead and get our tour. Mm-hmm. And then, so we jumped in the cab.
Yeah. So like I said, the prison was off the truck. I loved it. I definitely would go back with that one.
Yeah.
And then they had another church, which was called Christ Church Cathedral. We didn't go in there, but it looked amazing.
It did, yeah.
So, and that was literally maybe a 5-minute walk from our hotel.
Yeah.
Going towards St. Patrick and stuff like that. So you saw that first. So I didn't go in there because it was St. Patrick. So I was like, let me just see the most the most famous one. But if I do go back, and actually I say if, when, I probably will go see actually inside the church and see what they do. So next thing is you have Trinity College.
Yeah.
Which is all the way down the road.
Yeah.
And I say all the way, it's like 20-minute walk, maybe.
Right.
It's like 20 minutes.
That's about that.
But it's like a bunch of stuff to see. So it doesn't feel like a 10, 20-minute walk because you got nothing but just, it's like a main road with shops on both sides. And you actually kind of walk past the shopping district of
Dublin.
So you kind of do that. But Trinity College was cool. Once again, that's another tour. That's the one that done for me. But I would say this. Cool because it felt like Harry Potter. The
library?
Like the library, the college students came out in those
the robes
and stuff, and they looked like they were about to fly off on a broom and play Quidditch or something. Whatever. That was pretty cool. So we did that, and they gave us the history of like them having like revolts or whatever. And it was just wild. But that was cool. And then so then we went to the library, which what was the library called? It was
this was a library in Trinity.
At Trinity College, I think the Trinity Library is like the largest single chamber library or something like that.
That definitely looked like Harry Potter. That looked like whatever they was at in Harry Potter. That's what it looked like. So that library is known for having the Book of Kells, which is just like a manuscript, and I think it's written in Latin or whatever, and it contains 4 Gospels of the New Testament. And so you just take pictures of that or whatever. So in there, you actually can't take pictures.
Okay, nothing's off limits there.
Yeah. So they have the ropes up for like the other books and stuff like that. So there are certain things that you can, they have like down the center aisle, we can go down, take pictures, so on and so forth. But like all the books on the roads and everything, all that stuff is roped off. So you can't go down the aisles looking at stuff, touching stuff, because all the books and everything are old, whatnot. So, but it was still pretty decent.
Yeah, it was decent. Like I said, that's something I would definitely recommend. Once again, one and done.
Yeah. Like a dapper dandy, just one and done out there.
Yeah, he's definitely one and done. But the college is actually, ain't huge. At least the campus don't look like it's huge, but you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think it's like, a couple of hours, maybe 2 hours?
Yeah.
Something like that. I think we did more waiting than anything, waiting on the tour to start.
Yeah.
Anything. So we did that, and that was pretty cool. So after that, you have the Brazen Head, the
Brazen Head pub. Yeah. But that joint was established in 1198.
Yeah. The same, like bricks or stone, whatever they are. Like literally just in the middle of Dublin. 1198.
Damn, that's all right. That's dope. It's like it says it's a bar.
Yeah, it's still active.
Yeah, it's active.
Oh, snap!
I mean, it's a remodeling on the outside a little bit. They have like attached like a real, modern, building. But the actual part where you actually go get your, beer or whatever, it's 1198.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's dope. Did y'all take pictures inside the bar or anything that looked?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the whole thing. That I do again. So when you go, me and Brian was like, oh, we gotta have a Guinness here.
Yeah.
That's only right to have a Guinness. That was pretty cool, man. Just for the history fact of it. There's no, like, oh man, it's just like, Buck Rogers in the future. Like, nah, bro, this is literally a plain Jane bar, like pub.
Right, yeah, like folks was in there actively watching a football game. We call it soccer. So we were standing up in the middle in place, and some old lady was like, "Yo, need to move it," type deal joint. So I was like, "Oh, let's get on up out of here."
Yeah, some people on our backs a little bit.
Yeah.
They love their football in Europe.
Oh, damn. So let me ask you this, my ignorance. I'm not like a beer drinker like that, but was there a difference between like the Guinness you had at the bar versus what you have in the States?
Oh, night and day.
Night and day.
I'm talking about
night and day.
Guinness.
Night and day.
So I hate Guinness.
Okay.
And I had so much Guinness when I was out there where Brian was getting upset, like, stop my Guinness.
Go for that.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
Guinness over there tastes different. It's, honestly, it's made there.
Yeah.
So that's like the freshest you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might be less than a week by the time they hit the street versus, America. We might get it for 2, 3, 4, weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Tastes like a year old once you get it here, man.
yeah. It's that stout is kind of, it really is stout. So, but I'm telling you, man, like, matter of fact, that leads me into the next, thing to do, which is the Guinness Storehouse.
Yeah.
That I could do over and over, and then that's a guided tour too. But the people that run it, or the tour guides, bro, they're like amazing. Like, they actually go over every single aspect of like Guinness, even from whatever to do Guinness, sign the contract. Now, he was like Scottie Pippen, with these 7-year with $2, like he signed a lease. I don't know, but I know he signed a lease for like 300, 400, 500 years or some crazy lease.
Yeah. And
it's like, I guess he didn't know that Guinness was going to be
that
big world.
But he just signed a crazy store lease. And so that's like the first thing they talk about. They actually got the original document in the ground. So when you walk over it, they explain that to you.
That's dope, man.
Yeah. So it's just a storehouse. That's not where they actually brew Guinness.
Right.
That's like up the street a little bit. But like I said, man, you go in there, they teach you how to pour Guinness. Mm-hmm. They teach you how to drink Guinness. Mm-hmm. What else they do? They got, obviously, there's the souvenir shops where you can actually get personalized mugs. Mm-hmm. Just everything, man. Like, and the best part is when you actually have your first Guinness. Mm-hmm. And I think that was our first Guinness. Like, I think we purposely waited till we got to the Guinness storehouse, like a little rooftop bar, and that's where they pour that Guinness. They give it to you, and they get overlooked, and it like overlooks the whole entire city. Yeah, have your Guinness. But what makes it cool is that everybody does it. Like, so they got pictures of like President Obama, just all these famous people that when they get there, they just have their beer. Conan O'Brien, Paul Rudd, just everybody. So they got like a wall of just famous people that's been there.
With the thing. So let me ask you this, because I know you said they teach you how to drink it. Like, what's the proper way to drink a Guinness in that case?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, didn't really pay attention to all that.
Yeah, I was drinking beer.
Beer, bro. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's all BS for me, because it's like, it's beer, bro. Like, just drink it. I've been drinking, since, I've been drinking anything like water. Like, I've been drinking for a while now. So, what I'm saying? But I will say this. Mm-hmm. This wasn't at the Guinness storehouse. This was in the Heineken factory in Amsterdam. Mm-hmm. They do the same thing. They teach you how to drink Heineken. Yeah. But what I did not know is, so the suds at the top, the foam or the head.
Yeah, the head, yeah.
And that actually keeps the beer fresh.
Yeah.
I did not know that. And then it was like, when most people drink beer, they sip it. And he was like, that's where you get mostly of the foam on the head. Yeah. But he said that's what gives you that nasty, bitter taste. He said when you drink it, you're supposed to pour it in your mouth. And then that's why you get more of the actual liquid, the part that you're supposed to be drinking. Yeah. So that's what keeps the beer fresh and all that stuff like that. But like I said, I asked the bartender when they poured us the Guinness how old it was. And he was like 3 or 4 days old. Yeah. And I know for a fact, you're not getting 3 or 4 day old beer in America.
No, sir. Yeah.
I mean, I done had a couple of Coors. I don't give a damn. That's nasty. No disrespect to anybody's favorite beer, but I don't want to taste the Rockies.
No.
No silver bullets, nah. Nah, that's not my thing anymore. I kind of graduated from that. But like I said, man, the storehouse was great. I want to go back just to do it over again, man. It was a good experience. So that one, I can't remember how that one cost. I don't think it was maybe no more than $20, $25.
Yeah, nothing was more than like $20, like $25. Yeah.
Yeah, that tour as long as you want it, because they guide you around, but at a certain point they just let you go. And
right.
Then you can go to the rooftop and just stay up there all day if you really want to.
Yeah.
Now, only one Guinness is included in your price, in your ticket. After that, you got to start paying. So they actually have a restaurant inside too.
Yeah.
That's where you can get like a Guinness burger and a whole bunch of other different stuff that's infused with Guinness. So, like I said, it's pretty cool just to do that. And so after the Guinness, we went to the Jameson Distillery on Bow Street or Bow Street.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I actually prefer that one. I mean, I like that better than Guinness. Guinness was good, don't get me wrong, but I like Jameson more so.
Okay.
Yeah, Jameson was, whew. I mean, like once it hits your lip, just.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna say it was fresh because it's this liquor, so it's really no. Obviously, the older the alcohol is, probably better.
Yeah.
So that one is not really dealing with the freshness as far as that goes. But so we paid for that, and then in paying for that, they have a restaurant on top, and they actually had some type of the beer was like monk beer, and that was.
It was good. I wasn't expecting that from Jameson. I was like, man, they got a pretty good beer. Yeah.
That was good. And then so obviously I just had run of the mill like cod and smushed peas or something like that. That was bomb. And then so you could pay extra and you can get the what is it called?
You be a certified Jameson tester.
I got a chance to try all of them though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I pay for that. I mean, because I said when I'm visiting anywhere, I want the full experience.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I didn't do that because it costs an extra $20. No, bro, we already here.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to. I only want to travel with people that are on the same wave, as me.
Right.
I won't hear someone like how my man Ryan says, oh, don't wake me up before noon. Why are we here if you never got out of bed before noon?
I mean, I'll tell you how I get down, man. That's just, hey, man. Let me do my thing. I'm my own pace.
Individual, got it. You got to learn how to be a team. So yeah, so it's just so let's say you do that tour, you walk around, and at the very end, you get a chance to buy the 30-year-old Jameson.
Yeah, so they have the so for me the best ones I thought were like the 18-year and the 30-year. So obviously they go from like their bottom of the barrel, and it gradually gets more expensive. And 30-year wasn't even the most expensive one, but they do get a little pricey. But I think that was coming in about like $3.90 a bottle or something like that, if I wasn't mistaken.
And I definitely, whenever I do go back, I'm definitely going to give me at least, or I say, I'm gonna get one bottle.
Yeah,
one bottle, and that's gonna be something I put in my own personal bar and just drink once a year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be.
The only way you get some of that from me is that, have you been to Jameson? If you have not.
Yeah. Because matter of fact, I'm gonna put my certification up. And if you don't have one, if you can't produce one of those documents, this is not for you.
Can't drink here.
You can look at it. Matter of fact, I'll let you take a picture with it, but you will not be tasting it. That spirit is too much for your palate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said, man, that was cool. We did that. And then obviously we stayed in Temple Bar, which is their famous pub and bar, like neighborhood. And they got like trendy little little places, whatever. And like I said, St. Patrick's Day, it was a wrap. It was like 4 million people in that little area. Yeah. And the amazing part was, as many people was out there dropping bottles, throwing up, just eating food. 7 o'clock in the morning roll around. It looked like nobody was ever out there every single day. Yeah. I was like, I don't know who their cleanup crew is, but we need them in America. Because I'm telling you, bro, we was like, I think one of them nights we was in bed by like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. All you hear is, bottles dropping. So you're just like, oh, it's going to be gross. Walked outside, you can walk barefoot. That's how clean it was. Like, you don't see not one speck of like anything. So I thought that was kind of amazing.
It was, yeah. The street people started running at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and all you hear was clink, 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 clink. Yeah, I was like, man, that's crazy.
So that's pretty cool, man. Like I said.
They got superheroes cleaning the streets.
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh, they definitely got some type of Tony Stark's Avenger stuff going on. So, like I said, and actually think about it is, man, I'm sure there's plenty more stuff to do, like on the second tier of things. But when you Google points of interest of Dublin, that's primarily what you're going to do. And we did go to a museum And the museum was actually pretty cool too. I can't remember what the name of the museum was, but that was near the actual Jameson Distillery, whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I think near both of them, the Jameson and the Guinness, and that was pretty good museum. And just learn about the history of just Ireland in general.
Right.
Okay. Like I said, I probably have a better experience as far as dealing with more locals when you don't go on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
But I say overall, Dublin is probably in my top 15 cities I've been. I'm not sure if it's in my top 10, but it's definitely probably in my top 15 that I've been. I guess that's a good number for it to be in for right now until it gets bumped out.
How was the food over there overall?
Well, the food is.
If I go, somewhere, like I go to a pub, I'm like, okay, well, I want pub style food. Like, what's your burger? What's your number one burger on your menu type deal stuff? Let me get that joint so I can, kind of compare it to someplace I would go over here for any type of gourmet burger. So, in that aspect, it was pretty decent. Like, I had no qualms, no issues with the food or anything that I had when I was over there. So.
Yeah, like I said, that's all I ate was just the burger. Or I like fish and chips, so that's like just cod or whatever. Fish fries. I didn't go too beyond that. At least not there. And
yeah.
I'll tell you about, Budapest another day.
Yeah.
My fancy didn't work out well, but I'll say that later. But, yeah, so like I said, so that's what pretty much we did in Dublin. And like I said, I recommend it to anybody. Everybody got to experience it. Just pick and choose when you when you go.
Yeah.
We decided that St. Patrick's Day would probably be the most lit time to go, whatever. So that's what we did. So, but like I said, man, it was a good episode. Shoot, I really enjoyed this. Can't wait to get my man Brian back on here. And hey, Brian, you got anything coming up so people can see?
I'm working on it, trying to get my site and everything up. So it'll be, Brian the Bearded Beast. So it'll be a conglomerate of a couple things. So one would be, try to do health and fitness, and then one it's, about taking care of your beard and stuff like that. So I've run into, a lot of, brothers and stuff like that say, hey, my beard was itching, so I cut it off, so on and so forth. So it'll be more like, trying to help people keep up with their beard, how to condition it, moisturize, and make sure, it stays healthy. Because you got to treat your beard like the hair on your head. If you're taking care of it, you got to, take care of your beard. So it'll be, essentially about health and, trying to get things started now.
Oh, well, hey, when that website comes up, well, let me know, man, because my stuff be getting scraggly, you know what I mean? So
I got you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, man, whenever you always welcome, you're a citizen, and you know what I'm saying, whatever you get yourself, we hope to, come on your show and talk a little trash and have a good time.
Hey, sounds like a plan.
All right, so we'll catch everybody later.
All right, man.